I do what I want when I want. How's it going, guys? We're going to do another update on all the projects real fast, and then we're going to jump into the new series that I'll be putting out called Warrior Wednesdays. Now, this scenario is a little tricky. We had the ridiculous mini bike build going, and I was gaining ground on it and everything like that. And at some point I realized I don't really need that. So later on I decided that I would like to attempt to donate this bike, to have it raffled off, and to actually help somebody out as far as an organization or something like that. So I got in contact with another YouTuber. You probably know who I'm talking about, maybe you don't. And I was gonna give it to him and ship it to him for free, and they basically haven't said anything. So I've decided to kind of move forward with my own plans. So I decided to pick up a Warrior 350 ATV frame. It was a rolling chassis, it had an engine, didn't know anything about the engine, so I sold that. What's gonna happen is we took the engine out of the ridiculous mini bike build and we're putting it into the Warrior ATV frame, or the quad frame if you will. So here's the state that the ridiculous mini bike build is in. It's kind of sad on one hand, but on the other hand, that's okay. I have other plans for this in the future, so this may be making a comeback pretty soon. Now, a lot of the process of this build is going to be filmed in my personal garage. I have better lighting. I upgraded to LED shop lights, which are fantastic. I will put a link in the description below to those shop lights. It is just amazing how much having good light makes your projects better. So we're gonna get to the turbo cave and we're going to see what's going on there. So I'm trying a new method of filming, trying to get stuff done ahead of time so that I have videos that I can just line up and stack in the queue, so I can pump them out every week for you that way. So a lot of people are probably gonna give me crap and say, well, why aren't you building a Banshee? Why aren't you building a YFZ or whatever it is, you know? Why aren't you building a Raptor, etc., etc.? Well, there's a couple good reasons for that. One, I found a Warrior for cheap. Two, I had the Warrior engine rebuilt and ready to go, sitting in this mini bike here, and I decided I didn't want it in the mini bike anymore, so let's put it in the Warrior quad that it was meant to go into. Reason three, because I want to. That's why. So that's kind of one of the main reasons that we're going with the Warrior quad over another quad. Do I want to build a Banshee? Yes, I do. I would actually love to build a Banshee, but right now I have the Warrior. We're going to be building that. So let's go to the turbo cave and we will talk to you there. Here's the frame after we got it back from powder coating. They did I forget what it's called, ultra high reflective white, and the gloss on it is just ridiculous. It's very glossy. It's a very smooth finish, so very happy with the way it turned out. And to go along with the color scheme, we got these powder coated white aluminum Nerf bars with the black nets, and then also our swing arm is powder coated white. And we have our swing arm skid plate here, and then we also have our full underbelly skid right there, which looks fantastic. I started by taking these front hubs off and sandblasting and painting the front spindles. I also changed out the wheel bearings in both front hubs. This backing plate was a little hammered, shall I say, so I flattened it back out and then painted both backing plates with flat black spray paint. So the first thing we'll be doing is putting in the steering stem bearing, which goes down in this little pocket, and then there's a lock nut that goes on top of it, and I believe a seal goes on both sides. So that's probably going to be the first step of the process of assembling this frame again. We're going to put the steering stem bearing kit in. There will be a link in the description for this part. It's a whole kit with the seals and everything you need for the steering stem. So the first thing you want to do is clean this out really well. I've got some surface rust in here. I'm not too concerned about that. So we've got our bearing. We're using this 30mm socket to drive it in. It just fits perfectly. It's a little undersized. I've got my helper dampening the frame because this is going to be probably kind of obnoxiously loud. So. Alright, so the next step is we have this lock ring, and this is a 30mm reverse nut basically. So laying in my bolt bin, I had this Volkswagen frame horn bolt, which just happens to be a 30mm, and it fits in here just perfect to where you can use this and then use a socket like this one here, and you kind of just split the surface of the bolt so that you can get it threaded in and snug it up. Now I did put some anti-seize on the threads just to make it a little bit easier. Hopefully I don't have to take this apart again for a while, but if I did, then that would really help it come apart a little easier. So we kind of just push from the bottom to split the surface area of the bolt flats so that we're not stripping anything out here. And then we just want to get it nice and snug. Now the next step is going to be putting these seals in. A large one obviously goes on the top, small one goes on the underside. So we're going to be putting those on next, and the top seal is driven in place. We'll flip it and get the bottom one on. And our bottom seal is driven in now as well. I spared you the details. So the next step is we're going to bolt the skid plate on and get it locked down. This is a full skid plate from XFR. I got this on eBay. It was actually pretty reasonable, and it came with the swing arm skid that you see over there, and it came with all the hardware that you need to mount it to the quad frame. So we're going to put that on first. Hopefully we don't have to take it off later, but if we do, it's only let's see here, 4, 5, 6 bolts, so it's not going to be a huge deal if we have to pull this off again. But this is so pretty, but it's going to get so messed up, but that's part of the fun of building stuff. So I don't know if the frame's tweaked or if the skid plate's a little tweaked, but these holes back here don't quite line up, so I'm going to take this drill here and drill them out a little bit, and then that way we can make them fit, I hope. Do this over with a nice new powder coat. So these two back here are the short bolts, and you've got long bolts all the way up. There's 4 long bolts and 2 short ones. We've got these 2 different length, for lack of a better term, impingement plates. I believe the short one goes here because there's 2 smaller bars closer together here for this center piece here. And then this longer one grabs the 2 front bars up there a little bit better. So first off, we're gonna try and get these guys started here. So that concludes our skid plate assembly. I'm not quite sure how they designed this, but looks like these bolt heads are all sticking up above the skid plate. So hopefully they don't instantly get ripped off. So that's it for this week of Warrior Wednesday. I hope you enjoyed the build video in the Turbo Cave. If you like how the build's going, give it a big thumbs up. If you know anybody looking for how to do stuff on Warriors, these videos are going to be awesome because I'm also going to kind of show you how to do certain things along the way. And also be sure to check out the description below. There are a bunch of links to things that I use in the videos. So start buying. That's a free country. You can do what you want. So as always, thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next video.